Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So with today being Valentine's Day, we had to do something chocolate, right? It may look like a cookie, but oh, it's got all the flavor of a brownie. Let me show you how to make these delicious brownie cookies. So the first thing you want to do is melt your butter and your chocolate. So I have half a cup of butter, unsalted butter. I like to melt the butter first so that we have a little pool of butter sitting in the pan before we add the chocolate. That will prevent the chocolate from scorching. If you guys have my cookbook, this is another tip that I give you for my brownie recipe that is in that book. In fact, if you really had your heart set on brownies, you can find that recipe in my cookbook. I'm just using bittersweet dark chocolate. I love the dark chocolate because these are really chocolatey, and I think if you used milk chocolate, they might be a little too sweet. All right, now we are just going to keep stirring this along until you have a nice, fully melted, smooth mixture. Then you're just gonna set this aside and let it cool, and now we're gonna work on the egg mixture. You really want your eggs to be at room temperature because that is going to help them beat up to their fullest potential. That is going to create those lovely cracks that you see in the cookie. We have to have a lot of volume so that when they bake, they lift up and start to crack, and then when they cool, they deflate and crack even more. If you forgot to take them out and they're still cold, just put them in a little bit of warm water for about 5 minutes. Then they will just come right up to temperature. Then you're gonna crack in your eggs. Then you wanna add 1/3 cup of brown sugar. This is going to contribute to that chewy center that we're looking for. And then 2/3 cup of white sugar. This is gonna help them get nice and crackly on top and also give you some crispy edges. And then while you're at it, you can also add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Now, because I'm using the stand mixer, I have my choice of attachments. I'm gonna be using the whisk attachment because I find that it really does help the eggs get nice and fluffy. But if you're using the hand mixer, it might just take you a little longer to get the thick texture that we're looking for, but it will still work. All right, here we go, 5 minutes. I wanted to show you what the texture of this should be. And in fact, I'm gonna take this out of this bowl and put it in this clear bowl, just so you guys can see it. I'm just actually doing this for the camera. If you're at home and you have a bowl like this, just stay in the same bowl. You see, it's hard to believe that that was eggs. It doesn't even look like eggs and sugar, but that's what eggs and sugar do. If you've ever made like a sponge cake or a genoise cake, they all start like this. Now that our chocolate is nice and cooled, we're going to just temper these eggs a little bit. I wouldn't add the whole thing, just to make sure you're kind of bringing them up to the same temperature, just so we don't start to like cook the eggs. You want to fold the chocolate in. You don't want to go too nuts with the stirring because otherwise we will deflate all of this beautiful volume that took us 5 minutes to get. Now for the dry ingredients. You want to take a sieve because cocoa powder is notoriously lumpy and we don't want any lumps in our gorgeous batter here. So we're just going to mix everything over this sieve. I've got 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, 1/3 cup of unsweetened cocoa powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Then you can just whisk this up as you sift. You'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone, mixing and sifting. There, you see how smooth and fine that is? That's exactly what you want. This may be unconventional, but I like to add all of it in one go rather than add it in stages because we don't want to do a lot of mixing. And I find if you just do it all at once, you're only stirring it once as opposed to doing it twice. And then as soon as it's combined, go ahead and stop, okay? Because we are going to add in some chocolate chunks. Just to take it a little bit over the edge. I have tried this recipe both ways, with and without the chunks. Everybody agrees it is so much better with the chunks, especially if you try these warm just out of the oven. That gooey chocolate, it can't be beat. So I have 110 grams of bittersweet chocolate, the same type of chocolate I use for the batter, and you just want to chop it into little chunks, almost like little tiny rectangles. And if you're measuring, you're looking for about 2/3 cup. This is seriously perfect for any chocolate lovers in your life. And then go ahead and gently incorporate the chunks into the batter. Now, you're not gonna like this part, but it does make a difference. You want to refrigerate it for at least an hour because this batter is so sticky and gooey. If you put this in the oven right away, it is just going to spread out everywhere. Anytime I'm making cookies, I love to use a cookie scoop because that way you're assured that all the cookies will end up being the same size roughly and they'll bake at the same rate. We're gonna put this in a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven for 10 to 12 minutes. And when they're done, they will look like this. Now, you do want to let them sit here for at least 2 minutes so that that residual heat from the baking sheet can continue to kind of warm the cookies through and set them up a bit because they are a little bit fragile at this stage. And another thing you can do, which is quite good because these are pretty decadent and rich, is add a little bit of sea salt on top, which just kind of cuts the sweetness. It's a really great combination of salty and sweet. And then go ahead and transfer them to a cooling rack just to cool further. That's what's going to allow them to get those nice crispy edges. Should we give these a try? I'm going to try the ones with the sea salt because I just love that combination of salty and sweet. These are so delicious. You are going to love these. They are perfect for Valentine's Day. You're going to love the combination of the rich chocolate, the chewy centers, and the crispy edges. The best part, it uses pantry staples that I bet you even have sitting in your pantry right now.